Every year a new Football Manager game comes out, we get a host of new Wonderkids, and today we're going to be looking ahead to FM25 and taking a look at some of the Wonderkids we might expect to see in the new game. We'll be looking at 5 players that I think should be upgraded that are currently already in Football Manager, and 5 Wonderkids that will be new additions to the new game that we're all going to have to sign as soon as possible. That's right, today we'll be doing our annual look ahead to the next batch of Wonderkids we need to keep an eye on in the Football Manager series. If you do enjoy this video, smash the like button, but also I want you guys to contribute today and let me know in the comments which Wonderkid you think A, should be upgraded in FM25, or a new Wonderkid that's just about to break onto the scene that you think we should all be checking out when the new game comes around. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and come check out my channel in the description once this video is done for more FM content. But with that being said, let's start off with the first player that I think is going to get a big upgrade. Now, I'm not going to pretend I am some kind of football oracle that sees every single match that's out there in the world. No, but I have seen a lot of Manchester United this season. I've seen a lot of Kobbie Mainoo, both for club and now for country with England at the Euros. And I think this guy is due a big upgrade. He was already improved in the winter update. I think he'll get a bigger improvement come again the next game of Football Manager, not only to his potential, but to his starting ability as well, which right now makes him an average, lower level Premier League midfielder. But I think he's going to need an upgrade to reflect the fact that he is now not just a regular starter for Manchester United, but seemingly is going to be a regular starter for England too. You'll be seeing lots of greens on this attribute page, I'm sure, come the next Football Manager, and I imagine he'll have greater potential too. He's always someone that's had potential, but this year he seems to be really living up to it, and it just shows if you give a young player the chance and the tools to succeed, just how quickly they can develop. So Kobbie Mainoo is going to be my first one that I think we'll see improved in FM25, and I imagine a lot of you guys will have said his name too when you first thought of upgrades. A player that I think is almost guaranteed an improvement is Estevão of Palmeiras, or as it is in real life now, of Chelsea. He's still at Palmeiras until I think it's another year or so, and then he can join Chelsea's team. But this guy looks like he might be one of the best Wonderkids in world football. Now, in Football Manager terms, in FM24, he was introduced to the game. He was a bargain Wonderkid at 16, under 4 million, and had some of the highest potential in the whole game. And I think he will keep that potential, but I imagine we'll see a huge increase to his starting attributes. The fact that he looks like this, and Endrick of a similar age looks like this, even though they're widely considered to be on a similar playing field to each other, shows that I think Estevão will get an upgrade. And even if it isn't quite as high as that Endrick ability, I still think he is going to get a huge improvement to his attributes. Now, most of us won't be able to sign him with the fact that he will be joining Chelsea after a year or so into your saves come FM25, but either way, this guy is a Wonderkid you want to keep your eyes on. He is going to be phenomenal come the next game. And whilst we talk about him, it leads us nicely onto our next player. I wanted to focus on 5 players that I thought would get an upgrade, but I thought you couldn't really speak about Estevão without speaking about Kendry Paez, so I'm going to make it 6, and I think he will get an upgrade. Again, I think his potential is going to go up a little bit, but also his starting attributes. He's proved now that he can play at a level far above his age already. He's playing for the national team, he's a regular starter for his club, and is actually probably their key player now. Plus, he's obviously got that big move to join Chelsea. He was already a good Wonderkid in FM24, but I imagine come FM25, Chelsea are going to have some real stars on their hands in Paez and Estevão. Lenny Yoro has been out and about at Lille for a couple of seasons now, but this year really seems to have taken it to another level. He is a good centre-back in Football Manager, a brilliant centre-back for his age with huge potential, but this summer it looks like he might be on the move potentially to a club as big as Real Madrid, who seem to be his strongest suitors currently, which show you just how good this guy is. I expect he will get a massive improvement still, even though he is already very good. He is now going to be one of the regular top-level centre-backs in the world, whereas in-game, sometimes he doesn't quite reach that despite the fact that he should do, and I think it's because he's going to get an upgrade in his current ability, but also his potential. Lenny Yoro will be, in FM25, in my opinion, one of, if not the best young centre-backs in the game. Despite an upgrade in the winter update, I think we will still see another upgrade for the young Spanish centre-back Pau Cubarsí of Barcelona. I think he is a phenomenal talent from what I have seen of him. Again, I'm not watching him week in, week out, but I have seen him a few times. If you ever see any highlight compilations of this guy's passing range, it is insane. So I'm surprised that his passing is still only 12 vision and 12 technique. I think that will go up. I can see why Sports Interactive don't want to rate him too high. Being a young defender, you don't want to make them the world's best just yet, and I don't think Cubarsí is at all, but I expect come the next game, you'll see a massive improvement, some greens here and there, and like Lenny Yoro, I expect him to be one of the best young centre-backs in the game. He is one of the better ones currently, but probably doesn't crack the top 5 or 6 top young centre-backs in FM24. I imagine come the next game, with an upgrade that I'm sure he deserves, we will see a big improvement there. And now we've got one more player that I think should be upgraded, and then we'll get on to the 5 players to keep an eye out for that will be new Wonderkids. But remember, let me know down below who you think will get an upgrade in the next game. But my final pick is going to be Alexander Pavlovic of Bayern Munich. He's a bit older than some of the others, but this year had a breakout season under Thomas Tuchel, got lots of minutes under his belt. It'll be interesting to see how it continues with Vincent Kompany as manager. Right now though, in-game, despite the fact he's playing regularly for Bayern Munich in real life, in FM24, he's only classed as a breakthrough prospect most of the time, won't go too far, and I think we'll see an increase to both his potential and his starting attributes. He already looks like a well-rounded midfielder, but he's going to be boosted now, I imagine, to the point where he is a squad-level player at Bayern Munich. I wouldn't expect him to be one of the world's best Wonderkids, but I do think we will see him get an upgrade come FM25, so that's our upgrades done, but let's have a look at some new Wonderkids. But for that, I need to jump out of Football Manager and head to the internet. The first new Wonderkid I expect to see come the new Football Manager will be Chido Obi. If you haven't heard about him on social media, then I'd be very surprised. He's been tearing it up for Arsenal's youth team. The Danish forward was scoring tons of goals. I don't know how accurate these stats are on Transfermarkt. Probably pretty accurate, but it says here that he scored 32 goals in 18 games in the under-18s Premier League for Arsenal. An incredible return, and he is one of the most talked about strikers of his current generation. I believe he isn't necessarily staying at Arsenal. I've seen a lot of rumours that he might be moving away, but Arsenal have offered him a new bumper deal, so we'll see if he does stick it out. And also, at the time of recording, I mentioned Lenny Yoro was going to Real Madrid, or it looks to be that way. Literally a few seconds after I recorded that, I got a notification on my phone saying Manchester United have had a bid of 50 million accepted. No idea how true that is and how that's going to age, but currently it looks like he's definitely on the move to a big club, but I feel like Real Madrid might be the better move for him. Either way though, Chido Obi here is a very good young forward, one of the most highly rated ones in the game, one of the most highly rated youngsters in world football, and whether he'll be playing for Arsenal or a different club come next season, I imagine he'll be one of the best young Wonderkids in FM25. The next player that I think we'll see in FM25 is Rio Numoha. I don't know if I've pronounced that right, but he's a youngster at Chelsea, primarily a left winger who's done very well for Chelsea's youth team and is considered the gem of his age group. However, it looks like he's now on the move to Liverpool, where he seemingly sees a clearer path of football. Now, his birthday to turn 16 is apparently July 21st, so come the next game, he will be 16. That usually means he would be in the game next year, but sometimes I get this wrong and I think a player's going to be in the next Football Manager, and he's not. But either way, whether it's FM25 or FM26, whenever this boy drops in the game, you will see a very talented youngster. And when I say it looks like Liverpool are signing him, from what I've read, they're going to break their whole academy's wage structure just to bring this boy in. That's how talented they think he is. People at Chelsea supposedly consider him on a similar level to Jamal Musiala when they had him at the club, so if he's anything like him, this is a player with a big future. But my call for the highest potential new Wonderkid coming to FM25, I think it's going to be Francesco Kamada. This guy is unbelievable based on everything you hear about him. Already a £10 million valuation at AC Milan, age 16. They genuinely believe this kid has Ballon d'Or level potential. That's how talented they think this guy could be. Back in November of last year, he became the youngest Serie A player, and not just playing for a low down club or anything like that, coming on for AC Milan of all teams. And as you can see, there's already a lot of talk about how he's going to be part of AC Milan's plans. There's a big plan for him to become the future of their team, and I don't know how true these stats are, but the Mirror say that he scored 483 goals in 87 games. How accurate those numbers are, I don't know, but even if it was half of those numbers, this guy is clearly a very strong young talent, one of the highest valued players in his age bracket. This guy has a real big future ahead of him, and I think come FM25, this will be a player on everybody's lips. In my research for some of the best youngsters out there currently, I stumbled upon this guy, Gabriel Mek. Lots of people talking about him. I say stumbled. He is considered supposedly as the next young talent coming out of Brazil, and they seem to get swept up pretty early now, with Estevao already moving to Chelsea, Endrick on his way to Real Madrid. Gabriel Mek is supposedly the next one in that pipeline. Playing for Grêmio, he is being compared to Ronaldinho, just the way it is for any young Brazilian winger that comes through, I think. He is supposedly a real big talent from everything I could see about him. Lots of people considering him to be one of the best youngsters out there. Obviously, take all the news articles with a pinch of salt, but it shows you how talented this kid may be, that supposedly he's being linked to Arsenal, PSG as well, supposedly keeping tabs on him. How true all of that stuff is, I don't really know, but it'll be interesting to see if he does get given a chance at Grêmio now, how good he can become. And he could be one of those bargain wonder kids that you can sign from the Brazilian division in next year's game. And finally, I said him for last year's video, he didn't end up making it into FM24, but I think we will see in FM25 against Konstantinios Karetsas. He's a Belgian under-17 national with Greek heritage too, an attacking midfielder that many are comparing to Hazard. I don't know how true it is, I haven't seen enough of this guy playing, but he is another one that is considered one of the best youngsters in the world. Already a super high valuation for a player that's only 16. Again, news articles could be absolute rubbish, but the fact that he is being linked to the likes of Real Madrid shows you that this is a youngster that many people are looking at. Man City as well, supposedly he's rejected. Again, could be total rubbish, but the fact he's being linked to those clubs shows you just how far he could go. I believe he is now part of a Genk first team as well, so he'll be getting football at a high level in Belgium, a good place to develop there before he moves on, I'm sure, in the future. Whether any of these players will reach the heights that people have put on them, I don't know, but I think these 5 will be some of the highest rated new wonder kids that we'll see in FM25. But let me know who you think we'll see down below. Again, I'm not an expert on any of these players, so if you know a little bit more about them, if you've seen them play more than I have, let me know. Do you think they've got high potential? Do you think all the news articles I've read are absolute rubbish? I don't know, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.